This is Jillian Johndrude, and we are having ice cream interviews over the summer. And I've got Steve and Courtney from Think Save Retire and
AStreaminLife.
AStreaminLife. They got a lot of stuff going on, which is what we're going to talk about in this video. Okay, so give me like the 30-second intro to your story for the 3 people who don't know you.
For the 3 people who don't know us.
Yes.
Okay. I hated my job, couldn't stand it. She was okay with her job.
I liked it.
But we still didn't want to work for the rest of our lives because there was other things that we could be doing with our time.
Yes.
So, right before marriage, we could either, spend lots of money on vacation homes and nice dinners and stuff, or we save it as much as we can and then retire as soon as we can and then start traveling for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. And
or
so
at least for the majority of our lives.
We did that. You retired in December
2006.
16.
I was like, holy crap, I've got my timeline all wrong.
I took a sabbatical, but I've now retired now in 2018, and we travel the country full time in an Airstream travel trailer and get to go wherever we want to go.
With your
With
puppy.
2
With
dogs.
2 puppies.
Two
Yes.
dogs.
With 2 pups.
One's 12, one's 6.
What are your puppies' names? This is important.
Penny is the big one. She's a boxer mix.
She's 6.
And Patty.
She's 12,
She's
and
the
she's a poodle.
So, something that I love to encourage people to do is to think about how they personally want to combine passive income with passion income to kind of set themselves up for the rest of this life. Now, you have not planned it, but have kind of stumbled into it, maybe?
I think that's my biggest learning experience. Once my mind wasn't consumed with full-time work, I got to acknowledge all of these opportunities out there that I just ignored when I had a full-time job because I didn't need the money. I already had enough of my time being taken from me with full-time work. So once that was gone, everything just became a blank slate for me. So whether it's blogging or the YouTube channel or doing consulting work for other blogs or even just shooting video for ex-CEOs, there's a lot of opportunity out there that happens to coincide with my passion, and we're making money doing it. Though we never planned to make money in post-retirement, it literally just happened. I guess we assumed we would make some on the blog, but everything else just kind of materialized.
We went from wanting just, we can make some fun money to like, we're actually making a decent amount of money on this and you're still having fun doing it. And that's the number one thing for him is when he looks at a project, I tell him like, you need to make sure this be fun because you don't need to take anything that's not fun anymore. So as long as it looks like it might be fun or challenging because it will expand us or make us better in some way, we'll attempt it if we can.
That's right. So far so good, it's worked.
Yeah.
So what would you say were the elements? Was there anything else other than not paying attention that changed once you quit working?
I guess the time that I had available to pursue those activities. I mean, there's no way I could be doing what I'm doing now back when I worked a full-time job.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that you can't get started before you retire. So I started my blog in 2014, late 2014, and then I retired 2 years later. So I already had a really solid foundation for that side hustle slash passion. We already had the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So we started to do these things before we retired just to make sure that we actually wanted to do this and spend way more time on this stuff. And sure enough, we did. And so post-retirement, it was really easy to figure out what we should be doing because we were already doing a lot of those things previously.
Do you think it made your transition easier instead of going from super full-time to the empty abyss? Like you had a few things that
keep
you're
us
like,
busy.
I know I've got 10 hours of my week planned.
Another thing, well, you always say you need to retire to something, right?
Yes.
You can't retire from
absolutely.
something, you have to retire to something. And so for us, retiring to were not only the passion projects, so the YouTube channel and the blog, but also traveling. Yeah. So we're planning our travels, we're looking up new places to go and everything like that. We're corresponding with other people around the country to try to meet up with them. So there's a lot of a lot of that as well to keep us busy and occupied. But I think the blog, the blog really took off. You spend a lot more time on the blog and the YouTube channel now that we no longer have to
The
work.
one question you can ask yourself is, what does retirement mean to you?
Yeah.
It's that simple. And then whatever your answer is, that's what you probably should be doing before you retire to set the foundation. But if you do not have an answer to that, you're probably going to be frustrated.
Yes. And you guys, you moved into your Airstream before you quit.
We did
didn't
that as
you?
well. We worked for a full year. I worked from the Airstream because I was lucky enough to have a work from home job. She commuted, but yeah, for the first year, did not did not travel,
But lived in the
worked
Airstream.
and
Sold our
lived
houses.
in the Airstream.
Yeah, because we wanted to see what it was like. So not only did we start the passion projects before we retired, but we also
Let's just jump right in.
Changed our
Make it
lifestyle
happen.
before we left too. So
Which is something I feel like I have to encourage so many people to do. Like, I talk about testing and scaling. Like, take one little test and then scale it up. Because a lot of people are like, I'll just figure it out when I get there. Like, I'm doing this entirely different lifestyle, but as soon as I retire, I'll be a whole new person and I'll have a whole different lifestyle and I'll do the stuff that I never actually did. Like, when I retire, then I'll sell my house and I'll buy a huge camper and I'll start traveling. I'm like, dude, you don't travel on the weekends. Like, you've never camped.
If you don't do it now, you're probably not going to do it then.
or it's going to be a much harder, bigger deal if you wait and put it off till then. You may have more time to do it, but it's not going to be as free-flowing and like stepping into your new life. It's going to be like leaping off into
Because you're trying to change 100 things instead of 2 or 3.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, change is one of the greatest deregulators of us. And so if you're trying to change everything at once,
It's overwhelming.
it's overwhelming. And that's where you get I think, you know, I'm going to do that in just a couple more years. Just a few more years. It's like a safe procrastination number.
Exactly. Yeah.
So to the person who has decent numbers, but there's always a little bit of that, like, a little bit of hesitation for everyone in the world but Steve. You know, I think this is going to work out, and I have plan B and C and D, but is, like, today the right day?
Yeah. I think it's understandable to be nervous, but there's always going to be a reason to say not yet. And eventually you just got to do it and make it work. And I think if you're a flexible person, and if you are a early retiree, you are probably innovative and intelligent and have the marketable skills to make it work. So a lot of people just don't have enough confidence in themselves, but if they actually push themselves and kind of jump in, they'll find that they can swim a lot better than they think they can. That's what I would say.
And so to piggyback on the confidence, I always say that confidence comes in the doing.
Yeah, it does.
Like, sometimes before you start something,
That's
you don't
true.
know if you're good at it.
No.
And it's hard to sit on the couch and, like, talk yourself up. But that's what I love about your guys' story, because you just started, and you started doing it. And how did you know that you could blog or make something of that? Because you had done that for a long time.
I tried, and it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things I suck at, and there's just a few things that I'm good at, and I focus in on those things and make them the best they could possibly be. And that's really all I can ask for.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for
You're
hanging
welcome.
out.
Yes.
Thanks for eating ice cream
Yeah,
with
ice
me.
cream.
Thanks for inviting us.
Whitefish Montana. Lovely as always.
Ice cream anytime.
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 Anytime. Maybe FinCon.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for hanging out here too. And I have no closer, no exit. So Adam's just gonna have to do something with that. So have you ever heard of something called dance walking?
That sounds exciting to me.
No and no.
So it is the art of, while you walk, dancing a little bit. And it can be as much or as little as you want. I am the
I do
worst
it all the
dancer.
time.
Oh boy.
So I set the bar really low. But
I bet I could come in underneath that bar.
you want to give it a go?
If I could shotgun like 4 beers right now, I am in.
I don't have
You can do
in my
it.
pocket.
You can do it.